Good evening, everyone, or good morning if you are watching this tomorrow. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, I suppose. Good evening. I see we have 2 viewers. Good evening. How are you? Oh, you're going home. How was your day at work? Mm-hmm. Ooh. And how did it go with all of your staff? How did it go with all of your staff? Hopefully they were not just being a yes man like you guys talked about previously, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's a good idea because perhaps they might feel a little embarrassed about showing their concerns or problems in front of other people, right? Okay, what about everybody else? Goy, how was your day? Did you go to any exciting animal places? Oh, you sent your friend? Do you mean like you dropped him or? Okay. Did you take them by car? Nice. Mm-hmm. We can directly say like, I drove somebody. For example, I drove my friend to this place. I drove my friend to this place. Okay, let's see. Anyone on Facebook? Hello, everyone. Everyone on Facebook, how was your day? What did you do today? What did you get up to today? What did you get up to today? What does this mean? Oh, we have one more person in Zoom. How good. How surprising, but very nice. Hi, Nock. Nice to see you again. And hello, Danny. Also, nice to see you. Thank you for turning on your camera. Nock, how was your day? But doesn't that just mean that you don't have a chance to sleep? Okay. No worries. I mean, what is your other English class? Is this the class that's based in the US?
No, no, actually, I have class with bilingual English teacher.
Oh,
So for me, I learn better with bilingual. Actually, I want to tell you like before I used to hate English.
really?
My teacher he changed my mindset about how to learn and to live with English. So I get over all about it English and I start learning and happy. So that's why when I see this project, like wow, I love that for Thai people, who want to get out of the safe comfort zone to speak English. So yeah.
Can you give anyone any tips? So perhaps anyone who is listening who maybe was in the same position as you, right? That maybe they hated learning English. What changed for you?
What changed for me? When I actually my work back then, when I work in Bangkok, so many foreigners start coming, and then I know a lot of like technical term. It's like I was a nerd from Thailand, but even like simple sentence, I would like to talk to them. I don't know to talk about. I don't know to explain, and it's no, it's not good. You need to speak, and then I start learning, and then I met my teacher online back then, and I start following, and he said like, actually English is fun, to learn, and then actually he was asking me that, hey, why you afraid to talk? I said because I afraid that I'm gonna speak like incorrect grammar. I afraid that they're not gonna understand what I'm talking to them. And he's asking me that, hey, when you talk to foreigner, are you going like when you say wrong grammar, incorrect grammar, are you going to die? Are they going to kill you?
Just take a knife and just
Yeah.
destroy you.
Yeah, you answer no. Just keep it short. It's like they will like you native speaker, but you try to talk to them. Believe me, they're gonna impress what were incorrect grammar, but they understand what you try to. But it's exactly what my teacher said. I start talking to foreigner, even like my grammar is horrible. I say, oh, okay, no, do you mean this? Do you mean that? I say, oh yeah, it's like they teach me. At the same time, I make mistakes, but I learn from my mistakes. And then I get this like comfort zone, like to speaking, and my teachers always said like when you talk to someone, they like a good book. Everyone like is different. They like have many chapter. It's like maybe one chapter is happy, one sub chapter is like sad part, but you learn from them. I say, wow, that's just a great idea. I love that. And then I start talking with people, even like Thai people. You never know, and then you get like some good advice they don't teach you at school. Exactly that how I get rid of my comfort zone and start speaking. It's like right now my English is not perfect. You can see that, but
But you can speak fluidly, you can communicate everything you want to say, right? That's the most important thing.
right, exactly.
Thank you.
That's how I start like, okay, whenever happen, yeah, I would like to join and speak, and like you practice. My teacher said, right practice make perfect. So you
Practice makes perfect, yes.
that's a nice story.
Thank you very much for sharing. Sorry, I'm just Some people on Facebook say that they can't hear. You guys can all hear, right? I can hear you guys well. Okay. Someone else would like to join Zoom. Okay. Yeah, I think my way of approaching this is, imagine that you travel to the UK or that you travel to the USA and you find a foreigner, like a white foreigner, like me, who comes up to you and says, "Oh, you're Thai?" and starts speaking to you in like bad but very enthusiastic Thai. How would you feel? You're not going to say, "Excuse me, this is wrong. Don't open your mouth next time." You're going to be very happy, right? I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I find that even being here in Thailand, like I'm quite embarrassed, to be honest, that I don't speak good, like any Thai, not good Thai, just any Thai. And so if someone speaks to me in English, it doesn't matter about their accent, it doesn't matter about their grammar. I just feel so like, someone can understand me, someone can help me. And I'm sure like it's the same if you guys found someone that spoke Thai, right, in the US or in the UK. Thank you very much. Insi says, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, for me, like I can't comment in English, but when I'm learning Chinese, like I had the same problem, right? But for me, what helped was choosing like every day one or two situations where I will speak even a few words in Chinese. So, for example, when I go to the grocery shop, I know that the woman is going to tell me how much my shopping costs, right? And I know that I have to ask her, "Excuse me, how much is my shopping?" So every day, like I know in this situation, I have to speak Chinese. So maybe some people will say, "I'll just speak English like anytime, whenever you can." I think that works if you're a very extroverted person. But if you actually are quite scared, I think you can start with baby steps. So, for example, even because it's a psychological barrier, right? So it's in your mind. So even if you see a foreigner, you can just say hello. Super simple, right? But maybe that's the scariest part, is just going up to somebody and saying hello. Or for example, if they look lost, you can say, "Hello, can I help you? Where would you like to go?" And maybe you can prepare some simple phrases ahead of time that you know you will need. For example, okay, they're probably going to ask you what your name is, what your job is, right? Some very basic questions. So if you are really scared, you can prepare these basic questions like ahead of time. For me, when I was in China, the best opportunity to practice was in the taxi, because every time I took a taxi, they would ask me the same questions like again and again and again and again. And of course, it's different in Thailand, right? Most people speak Thai, they don't speak English. But maybe you can attend a language exchange meeting, for example, because I think there are many foreigners that want to learn Thai, but they need someone who is willing to be patient with them. Okay, let's just, look at Facebook. Yeah. Does anyone else have any tips about this that they would like to share?
Hello, this is your first time to say hi to you.
Hello, Danny.
I would like to say this is the best group to speak English together. I'm so excited. Sorry.
It's wonderful. It's very nice to meet you, Danny. I saw you commented today in the morning's classes.
I'm enjoying to study with you, Teacher May. It's very nice. Your name is Teacher May, right?
Melissa May, yes.
Melissa May. I call you Teacher May.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm so excited because all the students in this group very excellent to speak English. Fantastic. Thank you. I'm so shy. On the camera. Is it okay?
It's okay, but I know that I can call on you, so that's very good. Okay. So the other students, thank you. The other students that have joined, are you able to speak today? Can you introduce yourselves to everyone?
May I introduce myself?
Yeah, you can introduce yourself, Danny. Go ahead.
I will introduce myself. I just joined the group yesterday. My name is Danny. Nice to see you guys here and be my co-host as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Danny, what do you do? Are you a student? Do you work? Are you retired?
I'm working now, but right now I'm a student. I want to come back to be the student to restart my knowledge.
That's a great idea.
Yes, I'm not comfortable to tell what I'm working.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. Thank you, Teacher May.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, everybody else, yes, Natisha, please. And you can tell me how to pronounce your name also.
Yesterday, I can use the microphone. And I would like to introduce myself for everyone. I am Natisha Subalaha. You can call me Bo. I am a pharmacist, but I love to learning English very much. I get A every time when I study, but I cannot speak English, and I think my skill very very bad. But I can try to understand you all the time. But some sentence I cannot understand. But I will try to listen. And today I think I have to open microphone and talk to you.
Thank you so much for your courage. I'm not mean, I'm quite nice.
I think you're very good teacher. English Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate your courage. Thank you. What about anybody else? So I can see maybe next station, Thailand. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself? I love everybody's English names, by the way. They are very funny, like Easy Shopping Mall, English, Dan, Danny. I love all of these names. Good evening. What about you? I also do not know how to pronounce your name. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, let me ask this. Who is willing to speak this evening? Okay, if you're willing to speak, yeah, please put your hand up or please write your name in the chat. Okay, yeah, Goy, I know you are. Poom, you are. Nok, you are. Who else? Because maybe if you just want to listen, that's okay. I will not pressurize you. Good evening, TJ. Good evening, TJ. Incy says, all English teachers have some special ability to detect a student who would not like to answer a question. Next Station Thailand says, sorry, I'm first lesson today. That's okay. Yeah, maybe tomorrow you can speak. That's okay. Today you can listen. Today you can get to know us. That's okay. So, yeah. Goi Nok Nan, you are able to speak this evening, right? Yes? Yes, I think so, yes. And hi, nice to see you. Duk, you are also able. Bo, you are able. Wonderful. Thank you. Danny and Poom. Okay, if anyone else wants to speak, then just let me know. But otherwise, I will not pressure you. I will not ask you. Okay, so when you are ready. Good evening, TJ. Good evening, TJ. Nice to see you. Okay. So, yes. All right.
Okay, I will support you, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Introduce myself.
Please.
I learned this card is the first is last Friday, right? It's the first class we join together in evening. I know this card because it is my lovely manager. Yay! I am lovely for her. Because she wish me support me, help me to make me improve my English skill to in my work and conversation about my company because the company have a global company. I think it's good for me. I think my manager and my little manager, as if she's a very good English, very, very, very good. And I think I need to improve my English skill and support her work and all activity in the department in the company. This I enjoy this class.
Thank you very much for sharing. I think that shows that you are also, first of all, Duk is a great manager and you are a great employee, right? If you are willing to improve your English, I think it's good. It's a good match.
Yeah, it's a great honor for me also to have her in my team.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, let me share my screen. Okay, you guys can see my screen, right? So do you remember, what were we discussing yesterday? And again, at any point in this class, if you want to speak, just raise your hand on Zoom like this.
So can you extend it to more big letter?
Big letter.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean,
Too small.
oh, okay, sure.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. So yesterday, what were we discussing? What did we discuss yesterday? About Google? Yes. Specifically what?
Tech and media, right? About
Dying phone? Yeah, dying out. Yes, we did. And then at the end of the lesson, we also looked at I think it's okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh, something happened. Tech.
I'm so sorry.
Please bear with us for 1 minute. Everyone who was in the morning class, you know that, oh no, this is exactly the same as what happened in the morning. You guys all know that we had some problems with the technology in the morning. So how can I ask for patience in English? What can I say? let's make this a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
How can I ask for patience in English? Is there a bear also? Oh, there could be a bear in C. There could be a bear. Yeah. I can say bear with me. You know this one, right? You know this one from the Venerable Napan. How else can I ask for patience? This happens again, Kazit. Yes, I'm sorry. How else can we ask for patience?
I know one idiom in American.
Okay.
Please hold your horses.
Hold your horses.
Yes.
I switch. Stop using OBS.
Okay.
It's causing lots of problem. Okay, and it should be on Zoom. And what happened?
Maybe it's also a problem with Zoom, because if you look at window here, you like, for some reason it's only sharing this. So maybe it's not a problem only with OBS. Danny raised your hand. Okay. Whilst we are struggling, please tell me.
Can we say it about
Hang in there. So we can say, okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, at least for the people on Zoom, so that we can just talk, okay? So we can say, bear with me, hold your horses. Hold your horses is a little bit rude.
Working
Yeah.
on this?
Yeah, it's okay.
whenever like
I'll start this video and then.
oh sorry.
No, sorry, give me 1 second. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this video and then they can see me here. Okay.
It's happened because you're sharing your screen or something? Maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, Goy says, could you please be patient with me? To be honest, this is the most basic one, but we can also say that, right? Please be patient with me. Hold your horses. So I'm going to type in the chat now. Hold your horses is like, whoa, too much, too soon. Like, slowly, please, please.
Can you share your screen again?
Yeah, it's like even like the formal meeting, you know, it's like I don't know, probably
It's
American
happening
way, it's like
because you're sharing your screen.
You can say, yeah, you can say hold your horses, but it means, at least in the UK, it sounds like, hey, you are going too fast. Let's just, you know, you're trying to run before you can walk. Maybe you guys also know this expression, right? You're trying to run before you can walk. So let's say, for example, I'm in a meeting and I've proposed a new idea. And then I say, so let's make it public tomorrow, right? Let's show it to the public tomorrow. Maybe my boss will say, whoa, steady on. Steady on means like, let's go just slowly, okay? Hold your horses. Whoa. Okay. What was the other one? Hang in there. Hang in there, actually, we use for encouragement. Hang in there, we use to encourage someone who maybe is having a difficult time. So I could say, for example, hey, look, you just have 5 days of exams left. Hang in there. Hang in there. So you can imagine someone is literally hanging from a cliff. Like they're hanging from a cliff. And you're like, hang on. Hang on. But hang in there is encouragement. Does anyone know what is hang on? What is hang on? If I'm like, hang on. Hang on. You can put your hand up. Yeah, please. Knock.
I guess like wait a minute.
Yeah, good. Danny, what do you think?
We can say hang on your microphone. That is or not. Hang on your microphone.
Oh, you mean like this?
Can we use this word? Hang on the microphone.
Could you give another example of what your sentence means? I'm not sure I quite understand.
Oh, when we talk on the microphone with someone, and I got some things to do right now, and I said to that one, please hang on the microphone 1 minute, I will come back.
Oh, you mean like you're asking the other person to wait, like you're going to go and do something and you want them to wait. Usually with hang on, we just say hang on. We don't say anything else. We don't say hang on. Yeah, hang on. Just hang on. Or hang on a sec. Hang on a minute. Right? Hang on a sec. Hang on a minute. It just means please wait for a little bit. But we don't, yeah, but it's quite informal. Like it's friendly, it's polite, but it's quite informal. So I'm not going to say, please hang on. That sounds a bit weird, right? I might just say, please wait a moment. That's more polite. Or if I want to be more friendly, I could say, hey, just hang on a sec, okay? Just hang on. You might hear it with this kind of tone of voice in a meeting. If someone is like speaking and ignoring everybody else, you as the chair of the meeting, you might say, okay, hang on. We'll get to you in a minute, please, and ask someone else to speak. No worries. Okay. Insi says, yeah, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have the timer for hang in there.
Oh, okay.
Like Susuna.
Okay.
My teacher. Yep, when I put like hang in there, I said hang in there was how to use it and like how like meaning the word in Thai, you know. And he said, okay, hang in there. That's mean Susuna.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, to be honest, I usually won't ask for translations into Thai, even though some people might be able to give them. Just because I personally find that if you are focusing on the context of the word and how to use it, you are going to remember it more. Because otherwise, if you just say, okay, this English word is this Thai word, you assume that you can use the English word in the same way as the Thai word, but often there are some small differences, right? Okay, Danny.
Sorry, nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Is it okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody should be able to see it on Facebook. Thank you very much. Any song? Kazu Duk, you guys are very good. Hold your breath. Please don't hold your breath. If you hold your breath, maybe we will have some problems. Please don't sue us, right? Okay. Someone has a question. So Insi says, hang on means waiting, but hang out means drunk. Hang out does not quite mean drunk.
I think everybody know about the word hang on.
Well, clearly not, because they are doing it wrong, right? So hang out just means to like meet your friends and do nothing much. That's what it means. So for example, I could say, hey, what did you get up to yesterday? Who knows what this question means? What does this question mean? What did you get up to yesterday? This is a phrasal verb, right? What does it mean?
What did you do yesterday?
Yeah, good. It means what did you do yesterday? Thank you. And how can I answer this question, Goy? Like, let's say I went shopping. Yeah, I went shopping. I went shopping at the supermarket. Often with get up to, we often say much or not much. We say, oh, I didn't get up to much. Or we say, oh, not much. Oh, not much. Or, oh, just the usual. Just the usual. Yeah, just the usual.
Can you add me to do?
Yes. Come in, come in. Okay, wonderful. PM is going to come into the class. Wonderful. Okay, so I didn't get up to much. Oh, not much. Or I can ask you, did you get up to anything interesting yesterday? Did you get up to anything interesting yesterday?
I went to the shopping mall with my family, and when I come back, enjoy
Oh.
Melissa.
I'm so sorry for this.
What about StreamYard?
StreamYard. I'm logging right now.
Okay. Sorry, Danny, please say that again. It's a little bit chaotic over here.
I'm so afraid for my voice. Okay, I went to the shopping mall with my family. When I come back home, I joined
Okay.
to study English.
Mm-hmm.
Back, I joined the English class teacher May.
Mm. What did you buy at the shopping mall?
Just hang out, just window shopping. Just walk around.
Okay, I just hang out every day.
I just hang out with
Every day.
not every day.
Okay, how should we say it?
Just hang out.
Yeah, right. Hang, hung, hung.
I just hung out.
Yeah.
My family yesterday. When I came back home, I enjoyed studying English with the teacher May.
Mm. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. Guys, I have a question based on this hang, hung, hung. Do you guys know? Sometimes we say hang, hung, hanged. And sometimes we say hang, hung, hung. Do you guys know when we say which one? Do you know? Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
When do we say hanged? Yeah, it's past tense. All of this is past tense, right? Well, not this one, but these four. These four. I'll give you a tip, okay? I'm going to write 2 example sentences. Hello, Easy Shopping Mall. My second or third favorite English name. I think my favorite has to be English. Mm. It can be an adjective. It can be an adjective. Let me give you an example, okay? So, the prisoner was hanged on the 24th of June. Or, but I have already hung my washing out to dry. What do you think? What's the difference between these two? But the passive voice still uses the past participle. So actually this shouldn't change, right? If I give you another example with another verb you can see, I can say, for example, the mail was taken to the shop. I have already taken the mail to the shop, right? Actually, like this past participle should be the same. Yes. Here it means a person was killed. It's not a very nice verb. But whenever we use hanged, we only use, for some reason, we only use this past participle when it means a person was killed. So if you say, it's a very common mistake that people say like, I have hanged my washing out to dry. And native speakers, maybe they will laugh, right? Because, yeah, see, Google wants to correct this to hung. I have hung my washing out to dry. Okay, very nice. All right, hello everyone. We have some more people joining. Some people say phrasal verbs is one of the hardest parts to learn English. I absolutely agree, particularly because the more informal you get, the more phrasal verbs are used. So if you listen to the news or something, then maybe there will not be so many. But if you actually try and speak to native speakers, we are just using phrasal verbs like 24/7, right? Okay. All right. So I think we have already kind of had a warm-up, right? So I think we can skip to the main topic of today's lesson. So today I want to talk a little bit more about writing, since this is English for professional purposes, but hopefully we can practice speaking as well at the same time. So everybody who is on Ellie, first of all, I want to do a review of capital letters because yesterday we didn't have so much time. Okay, let me zoom in. Do I have the option of British English? No, I do not. I only have US and Canada. Goy says I already did it. Yes, some people already finished this. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do tasks like this. That way everybody can see. Especially because I'm teaching this in English, not in Thai, it's a good idea to review some of these like grammar terms, right? Okay, so we have lowercase, common noun, capital, proper noun, and month. And again, everyone, you can just put your hand up so we can speak as well. So which one is an uppercase letter? Please let me in Zoom. Okay, let me check. Sorry, I will admit you. Okay, an uppercase letter, Wirini says is a capital. Yes, exactly. Do you guys know why we say uppercase and lowercase? Do you know? No. What does case mean in this context? Does anyone know? It's because of a typewriter. Let me show you. Right, it's because of a typewriter. So we used to type on one of these machines, right, before computers. And if you want to get a capital letter, you need to press a certain button and it will move like I don't even know these words in English. I don't know how to describe this thing in English, but it will move this thing, like this little like hand thing, from the lowercase to the uppercase. So inside the typewriter, there were two levels like this, right? So the uppercase is with the capital letters and the lowercase is with the small letters. Okay. Okay. Small letters are called lowercase, right, exactly. Small letters are called lowercase. Why is it so small? Okay. Okay. A person, place, or thing with a specific name is a Proper noun. Good. A general person, place, thing, idea is a, yes, common noun. And of course, month, this one is super easy. Okay, so who wants to read these 5 words? Please put your hand up. Who wants to read these 5 words? Goi? Yes. I can see you tentatively like putting your hand up.
Acronym. Difficult. Trace. Nationality. And title.
Good, thank you. This one is acronym. 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 Right. Please accept me in Zoom, someone is saying. Oh, 2 more people. Wow, we have so many people today. This is wonderful. If only we could use breakout rooms. Then the class would be perfect. But unfortunately, it's a mystery to all of us. Okay. What does this nim mean if you see this in a name? What does nim mean? Like today we talked about geo, therm. What does nim mean? If ever we say nim. Nim means name or word. Exactly. Think of synonym, antonym, homonym, acronym, pseudonym. We have all of these different words with nim, right? And it means name. And again, this is just so that maybe it's interesting for the advanced people as well. I'm just adding some extra stuff, right? So does anyone know what language this comes from? It's a good guess. Latin is a good guess. It's not correct, but it is a good guess. Greek, right? So we have in English, where do our words come from? They come from Latin, they come from Greek, they come from French, they come from Old English, and they come from Old Norse, which is the language spoken in like Norway, Iceland, maybe 1,000 years ago. So of course we have some words that come from other places, but generally speaking, this is where words in English comes from. And that's why we often have in English words that they have 2 roots. So I have a tooth, but I don't go to a tooth doctor in English, right? I don't go to a tooth doctor if I have a problem. Yeah, I go to a dentist. That's because tooth comes from Old English, and dent is the same word actually as tooth, but it comes from Latin. So what do you think? If we see Latin, Greek, or French words compared to Old English or Old Norse words, which one is usually more formal? Which one is usually like more advanced? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Can you please turn off one of the
Yeah. Thank you. Hang on 1 second. I will mute her. Pauline, you are being muted. Goodbye. Okay, thank you. Is that better? Okay, thank you for speaking up. Yeah, working? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if we have like Latin, Greek, or French words compared to Old English and Old Norse words, let me give you some examples. Or let's think. Which words sound more formal to you? Yeah, right, from all of these languages. Exactly. So a manual and a handbook, actually, they're the same thing, right? They're both a little book that tells you how to do something. Dentist, tooth. Patriotic and countryman, right? Or infant, child. Companion, friend. So almost every single word in English that is from English originally, we also have at least maybe 2 or 3 higher words that come from Latin, Greek, or French. And for native English speakers, I guess maybe like Thai and Pali, right? For native English speakers, these words, especially that come from Greek, are very difficult. So for example, all of the names of the phobias, right? If you are scared of something, you have a phobia. All of these names of the phobias, we have to learn. And for us, it's kind of like learning a foreign language. Okay. So let's go back. If you guys want, you can try and think of some examples of this. If you have already done this exercise, you can try and think of some examples of pairs of words where one is informal and one is formal. This is also why we have phrasal verbs, right? Because phrasal verbs are usually from like these languages, and words, I guess you can say one word verbs, are usually from these languages. Not always, but often. See if you can think of some examples, and I will ask you later. Okay. So what is number 1? To copy or draw over top of a model. Trace, yes, trace. Okay. And this word is from English. This is an English word. Okay, which one means difficult, not easy, super, that's too easy. Okay. A short form where letters represent words is? An acronym. Everybody try. Acronym. Acronym. Good. Acronym. 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 Good. Nationality, we know. And again, nationality is the French or Latin word. English, country. Title. Okay. Oh, is it for me? Thank you so much. Somebody has brought me food. Okay, I'll let some people into the waiting room. Okay, we have some questions on Facebook, so let me have a look. Kazu says, my pseudonym is Kazu. Yes. And you will notice in English that sometimes we say pseudonym, pseudonym. Sometimes we say pseudonym. Why? Because again, this is not an English word. Originally, this is a Greek word. So we change the pronunciation in English to fit English. Because in English, we don't usually have this, oh, hello. Hello, Nan's friend. I can see you again. I was sharing on the screen. Right, I've stopped sharing now. Okay. So a pseudonym is a name is how we say how we pronounce it in English, because in Greek they have this ps sound, and in English, to be honest, we actually don't have it. So maybe again it's psychology, right? We don't say psychology. We just say psychology. So if you ever see this PS in the beginning of a word, probably this word is from Greek. And so native English speakers have changed the pronunciation because we don't have this ps like at the beginning of a word. We have it at the end, like crisps, right? But we don't have it at the beginning. Psst, yeah, psst. Okay, Pim Dao says, is there any difference between a pseudonym and a pen name? A pen name is only a name that you will use to write something with, right? By definition, pen name. A pseudonym you can do for anything. Oh, and someone is bringing me water. Thank you very much. Yay! Do you want to say hello to everyone? You can come and say hello. Who's there? Who's this? Okay. I will wait until later to eat all of these foods. A pseudonym you can use for anything, though. A pseudonym you could say you do graffiti under a pseudonym. You engage in arguments online under a pseudonym. You wouldn't say a pen name for either of those things. A pen name is really just for writing like literature or a book. I hope that answers your question. PM Napan also has a pseudonym to write a book, which finished the cover already. Yeah, it's super exciting. Okay, let me share again. Okay, let me ask you guys a question now. Would you ever write a book under your own name, or would you prefer to use a pseudonym or a pen name? What do you think? You can put your hand up. She's already gone, but yes. Okay, please, Danny.
I haven't got the experience to write, but if I can write a book, I gotta have a pen.
Oh, why?
I love this name. Okay, this name, a friend give this name to me, Danny.
So.
The name in Thai, he said he loved Danny. Okay, I gotta do Danny for him.
So you would do it to like pay respect to your friend.
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. What about anybody else? Go ahead.
Scientific journal and scientific articles, but I've never used the pen name. I don't have pen name because I have to use my real name to write that scientific article and publish.
But what about, for example, if you wrote okay, let me give you an example. You want to write a novel, but you don't think that your parents' generation perhaps will accept the things that you would like to write in this novel. Let me just keep this very vague, for example. Or in this situation, you don't think that your workplace, maybe your boss, would be totally happy to learn of this novel. What would you do in this situation? What do you mean Twister? Sorry. Okay, Twitter. Twister is like a type of wind, right? That will But again, sorry.
Sexy catcher.
But again, my question is like, your pen name is not very good if everybody knows it. That's not the point of a pen name. So a pen name is not a nickname, right? It's not just a name that you like. It's a name maybe to protect your identity. What about anybody else? Would you choose a pen name or your real name?
So if I have a chance to be a writer, to write maybe novel or short story, I would use a pen name because I think the pen name can show your characteristic, identify the story that you're reading. If you change the characters of the story, then you can change the pen name with another.
I think that's an interesting point. For example, if you want to write like many fantasy novels and then you want to totally change genre and write very serious poetry, for example, perhaps if people saw the same name, they would be a bit shocked.
So I don't know that Sherlock.
I think it was a pen name, right? Arthur Conan Doyle? Maybe. Let me Google it. See, I'm being honest with you guys. If I don't know something, I will tell you. Arthur Conan Doyle. I know that Arthur Conan Doyle was a very interesting man. Do you know anything about him, Duk?
Not much. I knew only that he is a doctor,
Yeah, he was a doctor. He was a doctor.
and he changed his job from the doctor to be the writer,
Mm-hmm.
and created the character of Sherlock and Dr. Watson
Mm-hmm.
in that book. And it started with not book, it's like something on the newspaper or
Mm-hmm.
or short story in the newspaper, but it has three months later that has a baby episode of
Mm-hmm.
the story. I didn't know much about that's the order.
Mm-hmm. So I'll just briefly talk about this and then we can go for a short break and continue the conversation afterwards. But from what I know, and I knew this not from Googling, but because actually like it's quite famous, is that despite the fact that he was a doctor, he had some very strange beliefs. Like he really believed in fairies. He believed in a lot of like mystical or magical things. And so you can see often in his work, some of the stories, before you get to the solution, they kind of feel like ghost stories, because this was a lot of the stories that he was reading. The other famous thing that I think everybody in England knows about him is that he hated the Sherlock Holmes character. He tried to kill him, and then people were so unhappy that he had to bring him back. So that's why you have this fall, right when he falls off the waterfall. It's because actually Arthur Conan Doyle tried to kill the character because he didn't want to write anything about this character anymore. He was so fed up with this character. But unfortunately, the public just loved him so much, so he had to bring him back.
Everyone wanted to die.
Exactly. Just like the series. Okay, Danny. Sure.
If you can write a novel, you're gonna use your real name or you're gonna use your pen.
This is actually a question which I am considering because I am writing a novel. And this novel definitely would shock some people. And so I am considering what the best option is. But I think I will choose to use my real name. And my reason is that if my younger self could see a book with my name on the cover, how will she feel compared to like all of the criticism that people would give me, right? Like, and if my English teachers that taught me like creative writing when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, and they encouraged me, maybe they saw some potential in me, if they could see my name on a cover, how would they feel? And so for me, even though like I know that it could cause some problems, maybe like in my job or anything like this, a murder novel, I guess. No, it's not a murder novel. It's not a murder novel. But there is violence, for example, in it. So for me, that's why I think I would have made this decision, but I'm still not 100% sure. It's an interesting topic. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break for 10 minutes. Let's come back at 1:15. Okay, see you guys in 10 minutes. Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. As ever, I am so happy to have everything working. Fingers crossed it stays working. Goy, are you sitting in the dark? Why? I can see that. This is my Sherlock Holmes deduction. Okay, everybody else come back. Welcome back. Right on time. I know. Surprising, right? Okay, as ever, I am thrilled to see what is happening in the comments when I'm away. Okay, I think Nock has left. Is this teacher's Melissa's book, The Forgotten Scroll? I have not written The Forgotten Scroll. It sounds like a great title for a book, so perhaps one day I shall write a book called The Forgotten Scroll. Okay. Thank you. Melissa May the Younger. Does that mean there is a Melissa May who is older than me? Maybe it does. Right, Melissa May the Younger. If we have two people in English that have the same name and someone is their father or their mother, you can say the elder, and the younger. And in America, they say junior and senior. In the UK, we don't really say this in the UK. But to be honest, I think this is an American culture. In America, they will often name like sons the same name as the father. In the UK, we never do this, so it's very weird to me when like boys in America have the same name as their fathers. What about in Thailand? Will you do something like this in Thailand? Nope. What kind of creators? The ghosts? Ooh, yes, perhaps. Okay, Palin has asked me to share a story. So I usually have time every day between about 12:30 to about 2:30. I usually like have lunch, I go to sleep, I have a nap, I just laze around and do not much. Then usually from about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, maybe I will go out and go on some walks just around the city. And then I come back, I do some workout, then I have dinner, then I come here for my class. So that's my usual daily routine. And yesterday and today, both days in the river, I saw, oh, hello, nice to see you. Nice to see you from space, our brother in space. Okay, thank you for joining. Thank you. It's nice to see you. How was your day today? Did you have a good day? Was your day good or bad? Okay. Same as every day. Oh, but if it's good, that's good. Okay, let me continue with my story. So yes, yesterday for the first time, I was walking around. I was walking along the river, actually the canal, right? And I was watching the people building the canal because they are building a canal. And yeah, I was a little bit worried about everybody. Then when I was walking, I saw this one guy. He was standing by the side of the riverbank and he had, what do you call it? He had a fishing rod. Hello? Okay, yeah, he had a fishing rod and he was winding up his fishing line. And on the end of the fishing line, there was this gigantic fish, absolutely huge. So this fish was maybe like 4 or 5 feet long. It was a very big fish, the biggest fish that maybe I've ever seen in my life. And this guy was trying to reel the fish in. That's when you fish and you do this, you reel it in, it gets shorter. Pardon?
It's a fish.
I thought it was a fish. It kind of looked like this.
But I think it may be not.
Maybe it was like a shark. I don't know. It was like this. It was kind of round and flat, like it had like a round, flat head, and it had some tentacles, like very short tentacles coming from the mouth like this. Was it a fish? I don't even know. I assumed it was a fish. Okay, Palin, please.
Yeah, he told me that it's like a little alligator.
Yes, I'm coming to that part in the story. So I was watching this guy reel in the fish, and he couldn't quite do it. He couldn't quite do it. And then suddenly, this gigantic thing with like arms and a tail and spikes and like a big mouth like this came out of the river and tried to grab the fish. And the guy just kicked it away. He just used his foot and he just kicked it away. And this thing just slithered back into the water. I thought it was an alligator. Maybe it's not an alligator, but I've never seen an alligator or a crocodile or anything like this in my life. So maybe someone can help me and tell me what it was. A monitor lizard. I shall Google it. Yeah, I saw another one today. So I was also walking just in the river and I saw another one today. This one was bigger than yesterday and it was just crawling up the bank, like going into the sewers, maybe 6 feet long. I was very shocked. Why is it funny? So I'm curious why everyone finds this story funny. Okay. Is it a rude name? Why? Okay. And then maybe I will not ask you to tell me live in front of everybody what the name is. Maybe I will Google it myself. Is it, and does it mean anything? Like, is it good luck or bad luck that I saw this creature? Or is it just that the name is funny? Maybe just the name is funny.
Maybe just his name.
Okay.
But they also have like a polite name.
Okay.
Yeah, Waranut. In Thai, we call Waranut, which is a polite one, not the bad one.
Okay. Waranut. Shansha also just typed this. Thank you. Thank you for telling me the polite name. Oh, okay. A bit rude, someone says. A bit rude. Yes. Oh, very interesting. Well, it was the first time in my life that I ever saw a lizard that big. I think previously the biggest lizard I ever saw was like this big, you know? So, and will they hurt people? Are they dangerous?
Yes.
Ah. Oh. And what should I do if I see one?
Just run away.
Really? Okay. Okay.
For you, if it bites you, maybe you need vaccine.
Oh.
They are aggressive, I think.
Okay. So in that case, I'm even more impressed with the fisherman that I saw that just like kicked it away with his foot. He's very brave. It was a very funny experience because there was me and then it was right next to a restaurant, right? And so like all of the waiters came out of this restaurant and were all like, like this watching the river. So in the UK, we have a stereotype that like Italian men, for example, they will always go in the street and like just watch other people do things. For example, if they are building something, there's always an Italian man who is there and he's watching them like, And they will stand there for hours, like watching, if you are painting your fence or fixing your roof, they will just like stand there for hours. Hmm.
I went to Lumpini Park for jogging, and so many foreigners there, and when they see me and alligators, and then they would always take your phone to take a picture of it.
But really, we should run away, right?
Just leave them alone.
Okay. I think probably like most animals, they just don't want to be disturbed.
Actually, they didn't hurt me.
Maybe just if you go near its babies or something. Maybe not. Do you guys know the bird swan? Do you have swans in Thailand? I have no idea. Do you have swans?
Swan.
Yeah.
There is the park, maybe private park, it may have swan.
Swans. Ah, okay. So my question, yeah. You have swans in a zoo. Oh, beautiful.
There's still at Tanzania,
Maybe they die every day. Maybe they have died, right? Maybe they have died. Ah, okay. Yeah. Do you guys know why is swan special in the UK? What's special about this bird?
Maybe it has the useful for the
Ecology? Ah, okay. Are swans useful? I don't think they are useful for anything. I think they just exist, right? Like many birds exist. I think they're maybe just as useful as geese or ducks or something like this. Yes, thank you. Exactly. So the swans in the UK, all of them, 100% of all swans by law belong to the king or queen. So if you attack a swan, it's considered like a very big crime, actually much larger than it should be. Like if you attack a normal bird, of course, basically it just means you're a horrible person, right? They're not going to put you in prison because you like attacked a pigeon. You're just going to, I don't know, people are just going to judge you. But if you attack a swan, actually you can go to prison because all swans belong to, well, previously the queen, now of course the king. What this also means is that the queen or the king, again, this is a difficult habit for me to change. The king is the only person who can eat swans. Nobody else can eat swans. Like it's illegal to eat swans in the UK. Eat it? Yes, of course. I mean, it's a bird. Like it's a very nice big bird. Yeah, we can eat ducks, we can eat chickens, we can eat turkey. We can also eat geese, which look a bit like swans, right? They're very big. This is a goose. Well, only the king and the queen can eat swan. So you can't eat a swan. I can't eat a swan. It's forbidden. Yeah, it's illegal. I have a question for you guys. So in the UK, we have some very strange rules, some very strange laws, because we have a monarchy, right? And so that means we have a king and a queen. And so over the last 500 years, maybe we have some very strange laws that we never changed. So let's find some examples. Strange laws in the UK. Because of this, we have some very, very strange laws because of the king and queen. And nowadays, of course, we have a government. Like we do have a monarchy, but they don't have so much power as before. So we have a government, but it means that there are still some extremely strange laws. All the swans in England belong to the queen.
I can say that this topic a list many people have blocked by Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, I will not ask you guys to discuss Thailand. Today we can just learn about the UK and you can discuss Thailand like between your friends and family, okay? I understand. Okay. So, for example, number 1, let's have a look. Let me choose one person to read this out loud. Who would like to read this one out loud? Please put up your hand. Yeah, go ahead, Duk. Number 1. 1838. It's strange, right? So you can carry a plank of wood, but only if you are putting it into a car or taking it out of a car. Actually, at any other time, it's illegal. The reason, I have no idea. All of these laws, they have been laws for like 800 years and nobody has changed them. So in the UK, maybe it's the same in Thailand. If you want to change a law, actually, this is a very long process. It takes a long time. You need to like spend some money on telling all the public like about that you are going to change this law. And so most of these laws, no one has ever changed them just because nobody cares, right? So if you guys are interested, you can find some really funny videos on YouTube where they go around breaking like all of these laws in one day. They try and see how many laws they can break in one day. But of course, no one is going to arrest you for this, really. Like, this is just, technically it's illegal, but no one is going to arrest you. Number 2, you're not allowed to fly a kite in a public place. Well, that's crazy. Where else can you fly a kite? You can't fly a kite in your home, right? So you have to go to a public place. Okay. Ah, okay. So maybe we have some places in the UK where you can, I'm not sure. Thank you, Palin. Okay, let's have a look at number 3. Who wants to read number 3? Goi, please.
According to the Records Offences Act 1898, the act of gambling in British libraries is prohibited.
So this one is, it's prohibited, right? It means forbidden. You can't do it. This one I think makes sense. A library is a place for learning, right? It makes sense that you can't gamble there. Okay. Oh, this one is very, very interesting. Who wants to read number 4?
Danny.
Danny, please.
The if they have the
Plague,
plague or
pox. Smallpox. Pa. Not a small box, right? Not a small box. Smallpox. Very good. So what does this one mean? Who can rephrase this? Who can explain this one?
Maybe okay. Maybe the driver, the taxi driver can ask and consider if they But I think the plague and smallpox were eradicated.
Right. So these are diseases. So for everybody who doesn't know, plague and smallpox are diseases, illnesses, sicknesses in the past. So nobody has the plague now. But maybe you guys have heard of the Black Plague. Has anybody heard of the Black Plague?
Yes.
So the Black Plague was a pandemic, you can say, but it was much more deadly than the COVID pandemic. And in Europe, let's have a look at some dates. Actually, I should know this, but I have forgotten exactly when it was. Yeah, it occurred in Western Europe and Asia and North Africa from 1346 to 1353. It is the most fatal pandemic recorded in human history, causing the deaths of 75 to 200 million people. So it was an incredibly fatal disease. And technically, I think the bubonic plague still exists. Yeah, here we go. There are significantly more cases in parts of Africa and Asia. So actually, I think 2 years ago, there was a case of the Black Plague in China, or the Black Death. We call it the Black Death or the plague. So during the COVID pandemic, many people in English-speaking countries, in order to emotionally get through, right, to feel okay, we joked that it was the plague. So we started to dress up in some very strange ways, like we were living in this time, as a kind of joke to make us, I don't know, relax or feel lighthearted. Okay, let's go back. Okay, number 5. Oh, Incy says, why can we gamble in funerals? That's a very good question. I think probably this is just one of those things that no one has made illegal, because if you gamble in funerals, you're just such an awful person. Right? Maybe nobody has ever done this, so no one has ever forbidden it. I don't know.
In Thailand, there are lots of gambling in funerals.
Really? Can you explain this? What do you mean? What do they do?
They just play like a card, poker, like that, at nights in the rural areas.
Wow. Okay. That's very shocking to me. In the UK, we will not do anything like this, I don't think. Okay. I think this one is a bit silly. Let's look at 5 and 6. So who wants to read number 5? Yes, please, Bo.
British stamp, the Treason Felony Act 1848 states that any intent to dishonor the monarchy would be a criminal offense. It was true that stamps upside down would be part of that, but this is not true.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this word is read monarchy. 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 Monarchy.
What does it mean, monarchy?
Can anyone explain for her?
ราชวงศ์ไหมคะ
Or in English, you could explain in English next time. Yeah. Monarchy means having a king or queen.
Really, right?
Yeah, royal family having a king or
Thank
queen.
you.
Yeah. So who can explain this whole rule? What does this rule mean? This one is a little bit confusing, I think.
Bishop may explain better.
Perhaps I can explain better. So this act here, so when we say act, this means like a law, right? A law goes through parliament. So in 1848, people came to parliament and they made this law which said which things are going to be treason against the monarchy, right? So which things are going to be going against the monarchy, hurting the monarchy, disrespecting the monarchy. So one of the things they said was putting a stamp upside down, because in the UK, the stamps always have the king or the queen's head on them. So putting the stamp upside down actually shows disrespect towards the monarchy, which
It means different side to the king and the queen.
exactly, like you're turning them upside down. It's a little bit rude, right?
In Thailand, it has them that has the picture of king and queen and the monarchy also, but we didn't have law like that.
In the UK, I mean, again, most of these rules are new for me. But in the UK, sometimes we do something very funny. You know, our money has a picture of the king or queen's face on it. Sometimes what we do is we will like fold the money in a way, and then when we move it like this, it looks like the queen is smiling and then frowning and then smiling and then frowning again. But when we were in school, our teachers would always tell us, you should not do this. It's very disrespectful. But yeah, we still did it. Okay. Okay, this one is quite interesting. I'll read this one quickly. The 1313 Act of the Statute forbidding bearing of armor means that members of parliament are not allowed to wear this thing, right? A suit of armor inside parliament. So they can't wear like some weapons, right? That makes sense. But they also can't wear this metal suit to protect them. They can't wear that inside parliament. What else do we have? Here we go. Another one says that if a whale comes ashore, like if a whale swims from the sea, right? If it swims into shore and then it comes ashore and it can't go back in the sea, if it dies, the head of the whale belongs to the king or the queen. Okay, let's end these. Oh, sorry. Number 6, could you tell everyone what number 6 is?
You cannot drunk in the pub.
Right, you cannot be drunk in a pub. Can you explain what is a pub to everyone who is listening?
In Thai, we actually call we also pub.
Okay, so you also have pubs.
Stand for the
Public?
public.
It's not the same as the public, no. Public means, so in public means You are on the streets, right? You are not in your private building. You are not in your home. So if I'm in public, it means I'm just walking around with other people. We can also say the public. This means every person in a country. So not important people, just normal people, right? This is the public, just normal people. For example, I'm a member of the public. I'm a member of the public. I'm not someone important. I'm not a queen. I'm a member of the public. If you say something is public, it means everybody can see it. So for example, many adults will tell children, don't pick your nose in a public place, right? Don't like up your nose in a public place. It's very rude. What is a pub? A pub actually is short for public house, and it's like kind of a place where you can go to hang out with your friends and drink, but it's a traditional place. So you can have a bar, right? A bar is somewhere maybe there is dancing, like there is loud music playing. In a pub, there's not going to be any dancing. There's not going to be any music, usually. It's just people sitting around. Let me see if I can show you a picture. And many of the pubs in the UK are extremely old. Many of them are like 800, even 900 years old. So this is what a pub looks like. Oh, like this. So it's very dark.
Place where we go to have whiskey and alcohol.
Exactly. So you can drink alcohol.
But we can't get drunk there.
According to this law, you are not allowed to get drunk there. Right? But realistically, what does everyone do in a pub? Of course they get drunk. Like it's the place to get drunk. Mm-hmm. Many of the pubs, if you go to the UK, first of all, has anyone ever been to the UK? No? Has anyone on Facebook ever been to the UK? I know some people have. Yeah, so some of these pubs are like 800 years old. And you can see they have this very old writing, right? What does this writing say? The oldest inn in England. What is an inn? Yeah, an inn is like an old-fashioned hotel, right? Oh, Bunyara says, but pubs in Thailand, we have events, we have like mini concerts. So in the UK, sometimes you will, but it's this kind of atmosphere. Can you see? It almost looks like a house. It's not like a big place. There's not crazy lights. There's not crazy music. It's like a small house. And many of them, traditionally, they will have a drawing on the outside because they are so old that when they were built, people couldn't read or write. So they needed to use this drawing to see, okay, this is where I should go. It's like an address. Okay. Okay, we just have 10 minutes left. I think today we just talked a lot, right? Okay. Does anyone have anything they would like to discuss in the last 10 minutes? Anything you are curious about or would like to ask me about or each other? No? Nothing in particular? Neither. Okay. I'd like to ask you guys a question about socializing, since we're talking about pubs. And again, this is a generational question. So I'm going to ask you, are the habits of young people socializing changing? How are they changing? And what do you think about this? So how do older people socialize? And how do younger people socialize? And what do you think about this difference? Nobody? Bo, what do you think?
We are young people cannot share. I think the young people changed a lot for this year after COVID.
Mm.
Like, what do you want to know? Like, they when they going to the bar, cup of cafe to drink the alcohol. Someone start drinking alcohol, like 15, 16, something like that.
Oh, you mean they start to drink younger than before?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I think we, the parents, the generation, choose like a close to them, guide them
Mm.
how to treat themselves in this period, this time.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you, why do you think that young people have started to do this?
Sometimes I saw them.
No, I mean, if they have done this, why have they done this, in your opinion?
They want to show that they want to act to be like an adult. They want to show the power of them. I'm growing up, the young adult, and I want to do whatever I want, something like that.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that maybe habits have changed. It's interesting to hear you say that, though, because in the UK, I think it's the opposite. I think young people now are much less likely to go out and party because many young people are extremely socially isolated, right? It means lonely. Many people, young people, are extremely lonely. And so many people I know, like of my cousin's generation, they just stay in their room the whole time, like on their phones. And perhaps, sorry.
Maybe of the teenager, someone hiding in the corner, or just keep himself,
Yeah, it's awful.
and
And
always busy with to talk to girlfriends or boyfriends, something like that.
I will ask other people to share. What do you guys think about this? So I think that, yeah, Bo, you raised your hand.
In my opinion, I think that they are so stressed from work, and I used to go to pub, and then I love this because I need to relax. I think it will be change the habit of young people now.
Thank you. I'm just answering a question on Facebook. Pub and nightclub is the same? No, not exactly. A pub is a place where you go and sit, really, and you talk. A nightclub is a place where you like, like you dance like this, right? Okay. So for me, I think part of the reason for this, you mentioned drinking, is because they feel powerless. They feel that maybe in their own lives they don't have any power, and so they want to do something which they have control over. It's the same reason for dieting. It's the same reason for like any eating problems. It's the same reason for alcohol. At least that's my opinion. Okay, in the last few minutes, what does anyone else think? Would anyone else like to share?
May I ask, like, the word lonely and introvert is the same meaning or different? Because I think new generation, young people talk about the topic introvert, and many people feel like they are introverts. I'm not sure that what the meaning and how like they are.
It's a good question. Thank you for asking. So an introvert is someone who gets energy from being alone. So this doesn't mean that they don't like spending time with other people. For example, I am an introvert. I actually love talking to people, but talking to people makes me very exhausted. So if I want to get my energy back, I have to go by myself. Some people, it's the opposite. What is the opposite of an introvert? Does anyone know? Extrovert, yeah. An extrovert is someone who gets energy from being with people. So I don't think introvert and lonely are the same. Lonely is when you feel, I have no friends, I have no human connection, right? I have nobody who understands me and knows me, and I don't like it. So introverts maybe sometimes, like they have many, many friends, they just need to spend time alone also to recover. Does that make sense?
Very good answer. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone, let's end it there for today then. Thank you very much. In the end, we just talked a lot, but I think that's okay. Let me know what you think, if you want to do this kind of lesson or if you prefer a different kind of lesson. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions here or on Facebook before we leave? I do not know every word, but I know more words in English than you.
I think I am an ambivert.
An ambivert. Oh, I thought you said every word. Do you know every word? Yes, ambi is both. And vert, do you know what vert means? Vert means you turn towards. Again, it's like a Latin and Greek word. Ambivert means it depends on the context. So sometimes you get energy from being alone. Sometimes you get energy from being with people. So let me write this down here. Yeah, ambivert. Vert means to turn, and ambi means both. So for example, someone who can write with both hands is called ambidextrous. If something has two meanings, it is ambiguous, right? If it has two meanings. Okay, let's end it there for today. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Kazu. Thank you, Insi. Thank you, Naramon. Thank you, Pim Dao. Thank you, Wireni. Everyone else. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Bye.